Whitney House is my favourite singer of all time.
Yeah.
Of all time.
Yeah.
Tell me everything you need, but I need your patience to kick it for it. Allow your perspective to flip if you just change your mind. I will be your side. You never have to run.
You touched on Denise helping you out at the start. Were there any other people that inspired you who were a major catalyst?
Like directly
Yeah,
involved.
directly or indirectly. So it could have been a Beyonce moment, you know.
Yeah, we all
Or
have our,
something.
we all have our Beyonce moment. Like, I mean, yeah, I'm inspired by different artists, of course, like the Beyonces, the Whitney. Like, Whitney House is my favorite singer of all time. Of all time.
Yeah.
Dead or alive.
Yeah, Whitney
I'll
singing the
pick her
national
over-
anthem. Oh
I
my
pick her
god.
over everyone every day.
Yeah.
But then different artists inspire me in different ways. So I really love Prince. I love how creative Prince is and how he pushes boundaries. And,
Yeah.
and he likes to jump in and out of genres. And
Yeah.
whether it's his best work or not, like he commits fully to the genre every time. Obviously, Stevie just writes the most beautiful songs
Yeah.
on earth.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, just different people depending on where I'm sitting or what kind of inspo I'm trying to find.
Right.
Like the other day I found myself listening to like an old Marvin Gaye album because of a beat that I was given. And so that's what sometimes when I get given music, I try and think if there was an older artist, because I try not to always pull from new artists just because it would sound like something that we've just heard.
Yeah.
So a little trick for y'all. so I try and think, who's the oldest artist who may have sat on something like this and try and pull some inspo from there
Right.
and throw it on this new thing and try it. And obviously, naturally, you inject yourself into whatever you do. And then, try and create something. Yeah.
Okay, so how old do
Huh?
you go? How old do you go?
As old as my brain knows. I mean, as old as I know, innit? Like, and yeah. But that's one thing I think I've been trying to do lately is expand my music knowledge, like outside of the genres I may listen to, and also kind of cross the Atlantic. So kind of stepping out from just British music or American music, listen to someone from Brazil or listen to
interesting.
and just kind of really expand and get different ideas from different places.
Right. Okay. So a question for you. What's your favourite genre? Is that a trick question?
Feels like a trick question.
No, there's no trick.
Okay, my favorite genre.
Or do you not have one?
My favorite genre is singers. Good singers. Is that a genre? I mean, no. My favorite genre is probably R&B. It's a toss up between R&B, gospel, and hip hop. I love hip hop.
Interesting with
Like
the hip hop.
hardcore.
Okay. I've never heard you rap.
I don't rap, but I enjoy the lyricism in hip hop, which you can't. Like, I get jealous a bit as a singer because you can't always fit as many words in your song. Where rappers, I feel like they've got a lot of room to tell like really detailed stories.
Yeah.
So I enjoy hip hop.
Okay, so R&B, gospel, hip hop.
Yeah.
Nothing else?
I mean, favorites.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I like all genres. It depends what kind of mood I'm in, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No soul?
Yeah, like that's the thing. It's hard to pick a favorite genre because, especially as a singer, I think you have to kind of like look different. We don't have to, but I think it lends to you as an artist if you like loads of different things. Like I remember when I first started kind of studying singing and music. I had a period where Denise was like, okay, so you're going to listen to Ella Fitzgerald for the week.
Right, okay. Jazz. Yeah.
And it was like the first time I'd heard, not the first time I've heard jazz, but the first time I've really listened to a jazz singer. Because we were studying like air control, breath control, which Ella Fitzgerald is like a genius of. And so yeah, I found a love for jazz there at that point. Yeah. And every now and again I'll listen to Ella and Nina and have a great old time.
So did you actually ever formally study music?
I did GCSE music. I got an A. And then I went to the Brit School. So I guess I didn't study music at the Brit School. I studied musical theatre.
Okay.
Lo and behold, I'm here.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I had the choice to study music actually, but I don't know. I've always been drawn to doing different disciplines.
Okay.
I'm a bit greedy in that sense. Like I like doing loads of different things. Like I'm still very much like that. So it was like when I saw the kind of breakdowns, I was like, oh, I get to sing, dance, and act. Yeah, I want to do that one.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I did that for. So I was at the Brit School for three years.
Okay. And how did you find the experience?
It was really fun.
Yeah.
The Brit School was really fun. I didn't plan to go there. I was going to go to like just like a local college and still study some sort of music, but then yeah, I discovered the Brit School. Denise again, she told me about it, and she was like, apply for it, and I was like, okay. And I applied, and I had to go and audition, and it was crazy because I had to do like dance auditions, which was like jazz and ballet, which I'd never done before.
You did ballet?
I did ballet when I went there, and jazz. But those are things I had never ever done before. Like I'd done street dance and stuff like that, but I was like, ballet who? And bearing in mind I was in a class with like girls who had done ballet since they were like 3. But yeah, so that part of my audition was kind of difficult. It was a bit scary, it was intimidating, but I managed to get a spot, which was great. I was really excited. But then I had to do extra classes in dance because I wasn't good. Listen, I wasn't up to par, so I had to do like extra classes after school, and it was literally contractual. Like, we'll give you a spot if you agree to do these extra classes.
Right. Okay.
And I was like, okay.
But that's just in the genres that you're not familiar with.
It was in jazz. It was in jazz, ballet, and contemporary. So I had to go to extracurricular things for those. Okay. Because I weren't good at them.
Oh wow! So would you recommend going
to the Brit School?
Yeah.
If you wanted to, like, people have asked me that before, and it's just like, well, it depends what you're going for, because I feel like if you're going in the hopes to be like famous, then probably not, because it may not happen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like quite a few, like loads of people go to the Brit School. Majority are not famous. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are a couple, like Jessie J went there, and I think Amy Winehouse spent some time there, and blah blah blah. But majority, you'll never hear of any of them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're going in hopes to be famous, it doesn't necessarily mean that's going to happen. If you want to go and study your craft and be in an environment where there's other people who have a similar interest to you, then yeah, sure, go.
Yeah. So you've had experience on stage as a performer, as an actress, also as a singer, and you've recorded. Which one would you choose out of the 3 if you could only pick one?
For the rest of my life?
Yeah.
Oh, that's an awful question. So if I had to choose from musical theatre and being like a solo singer, only one.
Yeah, and or recording
or just recording but never perform.
Yeah,
I'd probably record for the rest of
them. Really?
Yeah, maybe, I really enjoy being in the studio.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do.
You don't mind doing the constant retakes?
No. I'm good at them. I'm good at singing things over and over again. I enjoy studio a lot.
Oh, it's interesting.
I don't know if that's the right answer. I don't know if that's
but there's no right
I don't know if that's
answer.
the honest answer. I have to think. This is going to take me. I'm going to think about this all the time.
There's no right or wrong answer. I mean, for
that's
me,
a really difficult question.
for me personally, I love the vibe I get playing in front of people. And the energy. I love that.
Yeah.
You don't get that in the studio, but then
but then you can put a live band in the studio.
Yeah, but then in the studio, I love the creative process. But if I was to pick out of the 2, I would rather play in front of people all the time, mistakes and all.
Yeah,
You know?
maybe I think you might be right. I think yeah. If I have to do one for the rest of my life, yeah, maybe you're right. The live.
You don't have to change your mind.
No,
because of
I
me.
think I am. This is a really hard question, but yeah, nah, you might be right. Not musical theatre
Yeah.
though, just because it's not your own stuff
Yeah.
and it's crafted already, so you
Yeah.
can't. It's very constricted in that way. So it wouldn't be that
Yeah.
for the rest of my life, but maybe live band, me,
Yeah,
audience.
See, I just love that vibe, and also,
Yeah.
you know, also you vibe with each other, and sometimes you might just play something out of the blue, and just then everyone's like,
Yeah,
"Ooh."
it is
Yeah.
like especially if you got a good good band and
Yeah.
everyone's kind of just on the same wave. It is kind of like an
Yeah,
electricity kind of thing.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's a good question. It is.
Yeah, because I asked Sherman that
Yeah.
a couple of weeks ago, and he chose recording. He prefers studio.
Does it?
Yeah, he prefers studio.
It's a difficult one because I do
You know.
like being in the studio.
Mm. There's no right or wrong answer. I just thought I'd throw it in there. Okay, so I've asked you about your inspirations, what you prefer. Got another question for you. Actually, I was doing some research on you.
On me?
Yeah, I saw.
Oh,
All right, then,
Lord.
you know, lead actress in the West End show. She must have like a write up on IMDb or something.
You do have an IMDb.
Yeah. Yeah. And then during that search, I came across a video of you on SBTV.
Oh yeah, my A64.
Yeah.
Listen to the song here in my heart, a melody I start but can't complete.
Yeah, 10 years ago, 2012, I think it was, the
2012.
video. Yeah, singing Beyonce's Listen.
Yeah. That's yeah.
Yeah. How did that come about? How did Jamal find you? Or was it...
I think I probably knocked down his, please can I do an A64, please? Because I remember obviously it was going around and it was hot and everyone was doing one, and I think I probably begged to just do one. I begged to do one.
Really?
I begged.
It paid off because you had 70,000 views on the
Yeah,
video.
it was, you know what, like, that was kind of like my first kind of public video. And essentially, I hated it. Like, not, yeah, I did, because...
You hated the video?
Yeah, I hated the video. I hated the video.
Really?
Yeah, I hate the video.
Oh my God.
Not, because, and this is kind of, I think that was kind of my first view of like the internet and people, because when you come from a very protected space like I did, so like church and stuff, very protective space, like no one really says anything bad about you, and it's all love and it's all cushiony and clouds and fluffy. Do you know what I mean? But then when you push yourself out to outsiders who don't know you, don't really care about you, maybe they've had a bad day and they just want to be horrible, yeah, that's what I got. And I remember kind of sitting, reading through my comments and being a bit like,
oh wow.
like literally, it was horrible. And then I think from that day, and the thing, it was about everything but the singing. It was about the look. Oh, she looks like this. Her hair's like this. She's this. She's this. She's this. I was like, dang, did anyone hear it? Or
Really?
yeah, and I mean, and
coming
then,
from your own.
huh?
Coming from your own.
Just people, like just comments from people, innit? And fair enough. Like now, I'm much older now, and I understand. Like that's the internet. That's the nature of the beast. But from that kind of day, I I learned, don't read comments. Like I don't read them. I don't, unless comments are directly on, like, so for example, my Instagram page, unless they're directly on my page, if I post anything externally, I won't go and read through the comment section. And that's good or bad. Like I don't read.
Oh wow, you seem to see all my comments.
They're on my page. Because the thing is, I can't avoid like things that are put on my page directly. Obviously, I get notifications and they come up, but like if I put videos on like Shade Bar or whatever, my sister will be like, "Oh, your videos on there, and do you want to see what people are saying this?" And I was like, "Please stop." And like people will send me comments. I'm like, "Don't do that." And even though they're good, but I feel like you can't just want the good comments and then not want to hear any of the bad comments. Yeah. So I just say, okay, no comments. Right. And that's how I deal with that. But yeah. But that A64 built a lot of character, I'll tell you that. Because it was kind of like, I feel like those kind of moments, they kind of make or break you. Yeah. You kind of say, I'm never doing this again. Or you say, okay, it hurts a bit, but I'll manage and I'll do this now. So yeah.
Well, clearly you're here now.
Well, here I am. You know, here I am.
You know, and then
bit of a tough nut.
A moment later, you went on to X Factor.
I did. The end. No, joking.